All right. So the vanilla sky theory is a very interesting theory that it's not super like it doesn't take a lot of thought power to comprehend it because it's like you can pretty much see it. But in order to understand the vanilla sky theory, you have to like go back to when photos were like invented, basically. So when photos were like invented, they used to have these gigantic cameras that they couldn't bring anywhere. So they had to come up with a way to basically condense the process so they can bring these cameras to other places. So they came up with something called the glass plate negative. And basically what that is a bunch of chemicals that on a glass plate react to light and then they produce the image, right? So when they started doing that, they started taking these negatives and that was the new way of photography. So what they also started doing after that is something called what's it called? Spirit photography,
Ooh.
right?
Right?
Yes.
Johnny,
So
we
they
talked
started
about
doing-
that
yeah.
before,
Yeah, we
right?
had a guest on who's from your neck of the woods who engaged in that, right?
Oh, yeah, the seance.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, remember she photographed all that stuff?
Yeah, spirit photography. Ooh, I like that. I
Me
like
too.
that.
Me too.
Yeah. So they started doing the spirit photography. And what was interesting about it is that when it first came out, it was a huge way to start doing like cons. Right. I'm
Oh.
not saying spirit photography is fake. I think it's real like in today. But with the negatives, I didn't think it was possible to capture those things with that type of technology back then. So what they started doing is they started realizing that it's very easy to manipulate photos on such a basic level that you can get someone to believe that, hey, I took a picture of your relative and it'll be like a relative like from like it wouldn't even be their relative. It'll be like a random person that they put in the photo or whatever. And they'll be like, hey, this is like your grandfather from like whatever time, you know? So people will buy it. They'll be like, oh, fuck yeah, this is great. Like,
It's
this
so
is awesome.
crazy. They've been photoshopping since the jump, that means, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, since the jump. So they had a process for this. Actually, the guy who was doing this didn't even like, he was like the only guy who was doing it and they didn't know his process. So what they would do is that, you know, he would take the photo and then he would go into his back room with all these other chemicals and whatever else he had back there. He will mix the photo and then he'll come back to you. Okay, your photo will be ready like tomorrow. And then you come back and then it's like, I mean, if you look up spirit photography, you see a bunch of photos that are like, okay, that's clearly like bullshit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Especially
Yeah.
from the beginning. So when that happened, they realized, wait, we can take this a step further, right? What if we like, you know, manipulate? What would we start using this in propaganda? You know what I mean? So they started using photos to basically use against the public with propaganda. And after that, they took it even a step further. So they started taking pictures of cities. And I actually sent a Dropbox to you
I
with
got
a
it. Yeah,
bunch
I got
of
it right here.
photos.
Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, the first photo is a bunch of postcards, right? So that's the first photo right there. Now, if you look at that photo, what do you notice about it?
Which one? Can you click on
Like
one?
all of them. Like all of them. What do you notice about all of them?
Same sky.
It's the same sky.
Oh, yeah.
There you
Oh,
go.
snaps. It is the same sky.
Oh, yeah, and they just kind of move it up and down, huh?
And that's
Like,
the shrooms right
Yeah.
there.
It's the same fucking sky. Now, this is just a postcard company. Right? Now, people will ask, why the fuck does this matter? Well, if they're doing this on a very small scale. This is how they do it. It's like the foot in the door.
Whoa.
Right.
So real quick for the people, the audio people at home, we have a series of postcards on like almost like a grid. And each one is of a different location. One looks like of let's say a motel on the highway. One looks like a burger joint.
Not many places you'd want to go either.
Yeah,
what's
but it's just like random places you'd find on the road if you're driving across America. And they're colored pictures. You could tell they're really old. And the sky is really blue. And like Xavier Guerrero, who is microdosing right now, pointed out, they're all using the same sky.
Now, I will say
in the
it is
background.
difficult to expose the sky, especially using a shitty or an older camera, and your subject in the same image, because the sky is
Yeah.
always so much brighter.
Yeah.
And so I assume that this is something they were compensating for that, or maybe they had cloudy skies or something. But that's wow, yeah. This is fascinating. It looks like do you know if these are colorized too, like in post. These were black and white photos that were colorized. It was
No, they were colorized. They were sent just like this.
They were shot just like this. Okay.
Yeah, they were sent just like that to everyone across. Like those were postcards you can go to like a gas station and have those postcards that you send to your family. Like, yeah, that's.
Do you know where these places are?
I don't know where these places are, but I saw this on Vox at the top right corner. You see the logo right there?
I see.
Yeah. So I saw that on there, and I was like, "Oh shit, this is crazy."
So what was Vox saying about these photos? Was it talking about what you're talking about right now?
Well, they talked about classic photo manipulation, but they didn't, go into exactly what I did. I took it, a little step further.
Okay, let's do it.
I started going a little bit deeper, and I found on the Library of Congress website a bunch of these photos of cities, especially ones here in New York City. There was one in Boston. In the Dropbox folder, I sent that too. But I wanted to show you the most famous picture of Lincoln is actually a face swap. If you didn't know, you should be able to see. I sent the photo and I sent the link there, right there.
Whoa! So let me ask you something. So, wow. Whoa, bro.
In case you don't believe it, the History Channel.
Well, that's the other link.
That's another link. Okay. Now, okay.
It's the other
now
link.
you're time traveling on mushrooms. Easy.
Stalin is fucking with Lincoln photos.
Yeah, I sent the link to show that exact photo on their website as well.
Oh,
but yeah, that's the exact photo.
They even changed the headline on the newspaper. I think is that a newspaper on the table there? Whatever it is, you can see they changed.
Oh yeah, dude, that's crazy. That we're like, oh my god, they were just now learning how to do photos.
What does it say? Proclamation something, and then that one's something else. That one was like proclamation. I don't know.
I
don't know
crazy.
Either, but
that is.
So if you actually zoom in, if you zoom in on that guy right there, go up to the top, you see his hairline right there, right?
Right.
If you zoom over to Lincoln, you will see that there's a little bit outline where his hair used to be.
Oh yeah.
I can
go back. Go back. Let's see the other one. Right there, but I think you're talking. Are you talking about on the side?
I'm talking about the hair I'm talking about the hair on his on the right side. I mean the left side.
Yeah, right there. No, right.
You can see the shadow.
Over Xavier, down. No, down.
No, a little
over.
bit more to the left.
To the left. Go this way. Okay.
Right there.
Yeah.
That's the shadow of the hair on the other picture.
That's so true. Look at that, dude.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Why? Okay, so there was a reason why they did this, right?
Yeah, so there was a reason why they did it. I mean, this photo, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, it was on the website, but apparently this was done after Lincoln's death, to make him look like a more higher. I don't know how to explain that.
Taller,
more prestigious.
Yeah, more prestigious. Yeah, that's the right word.
It's funny because the guy they put his head on
prestigious. Is
that John C. Calhoun? I believe it is, right? And he was an enemy of Lincoln. So it's not like they even put him on.
So yeah, dude. Now it's like they now they're even fucking with the other guy too. They're like, oh, dude, we took your picture and put his face on it.
I mean, he was like one of the biggest defenders of slavery during that whole era.
Abraham
So
Lincoln,
or at least
Lincoln
before the war. He was.
But
one of the
dude,
chief.
this is like absolutely shocking. Like it's shocking because like everyone's like now like AI, dude. We're like, well, what's real? No, what's not real?
What? Yeah.
Like
AI is making it even worse.
Yeah, but this has been manipulation since the start. And like it's so funny because like again it gets into this thing where like they accuse the other side of what they're doing. How many times you seen those photos? And we're gonna get into it. Stalin. Oh look, Stalin got rid of all these fucking people. Yeah, they did it to this guy, Abraham Lincoln, his enemy.
At least at some point, it required some talent and some art, though. Now the tools have been democratized to the point that anybody who knows how to type can make eventually a video that is convincing.
But like what this Vanilla Sky stuff tells me is like, dude, we've been manipulating from the moment they took a picture.
Because I used to think if I saw a picture, I was like, oh, you can't manipulate that.
Yeah.
Now with telling me this, I was like, dude, and even then you could back then, but it still gave me that thought.
But maybe not in your hand, not your Polaroid, but your newspaper, your books, which were the TikTok, Instagram, Twitter of those days.
The CIA
Any
had
World War-
offices dedicated to this kind of stuff.
Any World War II image?
You don't even know, bro.
Oh, yeah,
That's what
so
I was,
many of
yeah, I
those
was
are
actually
fake.
going to get into that. Yeah, like so
Okay,
how
let's
they
get
would do it
Yeah.
is there's a series of tools they would use. They would use etching, which is a knife. They would cut things out and paste things over it, and then they will also paint over those as well. So actually, there's a picture I have in there of Adolf Hitler somewhere in that file that I sent to you. Is a picture of Adolf Hitler with a group of people, and one of the people he cut out, and they fucking put the background in where he was standing. That is such high level manipulation.
right
Wait,
here.
it's Goebbels, though. It's the
Yeah.
head of propaganda that got taken out. That's kind of curious. Or do you?
Yeah.
He was taken out or added? Do you
Take
know?
it out. I think
No, he
taken
was
out.
taken out.
Oh, yeah,
when
because you can see the difference in the shadow,
The
right?
photo on the left is what they put out, and the photo on the right is their original.
Now, dude, if you're either the guy or the family of the guy that sees that picture come out, and now your dude is no longer the picture, you gotta be
Right,
like,
but that's Goebbels. That's the propaganda. That's the head of propaganda who's taken out of the picture. He would be the guy who takes people out of pictures. It's curious. I don't know why.
maybe he doesn't want. Maybe he knows the end is
Yeah.
near, and he doesn't want to be a part of
There's
it.
one of my favorite pictures from the war is this Jewish photographer took a picture of Goebbels and he's looking at him.
Oh yeah,
with
yeah.
just
No,
hate
like
in
there's
his
a
eyes.
picture of him before, and he's smiling.
Yeah.
And
then
then
he looks-
somebody finds out.
that
Then he
he's
finds
Jewish.
out
Yeah,
the
yeah.
photographer's
And it's-
Jewish, and just hate.
I
his
mean,
eyes.
just locks onto him with lasers. Yeah, that's one of my favorite images. I'll see if I can find it.
What's crazy here is what's that guy's name? Goebbels?
Goebbels, yeah.
It doesn't mean it means like he's lying. Imagine saying, "Yeah, I was in there," and then they pull out this picture. You weren't there.
yeah.
Now he's not credible.
Well, I mean,
And now it's like false memories. He's making shit up. Now he's a crazy person.
Here it is.
Yeah.
This is him.
haha, so fun. Then
Yeah.
it's pictures after. Look at that. He's like, "F you, bro."
Look at that. Look at that. The
That's
eyes
evil.
of this guy. And by all accounts, one of the most evil people in the Nazi regime. Think about that. To be among the most evil of the Nazis, you got to be a real piece of shit. And
Well,
this-
I mean, like, dude. I mean, have you studied like? I mean, everything with the Nazis is just getting crazier and
you
crazier.
mean like all the tweets saying that they deserve apologies?
Well, I
and
mean,
stuff?
like, so you guys were on the episode because Daddy never stops working, right? Never stops.
Never stop.
Never.
And I just did a great episode about NASA and how crazy that is. And let me just make sure. Here we go, real quick.
Goebbels cyanided himself. He went down with a ship. So I'd be curious why he was taken out of that image anyway.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's very crazy to me. So we had Justin Harvey on episode 806, okay? And he brought up something so interesting to me that fits into this Nazi stuff. And he brings up the theory that the NASA isn't a space program, that it's actually the head of all the intelligence agencies. Because what he was talking about, that it's the only thing where all of the countries want to work together on, right? Like, how many times we like Russia and the United States, and they're in their space station together? You're like, I know we're about to nuke each other, right? I mean, is that the basis of a movie that just came out? America, United States in a space shuttle together. Space station. There's nuclear war. Now they have to figure out if they're gonna fight with each other or not, right? Like, it's totally crazy.
Wow, what a great premise. What is that called? I haven't heard about that.
You didn't hear the
No,
movie?
no,
It's
no.
like a movie that came
No,
out.
I haven't seen it.
So, anyways,
Great idea.
but if you think about it, dude, like, who founded NASA? The Nazis. Who founded the CIA? The Nazis. I mean, it's like so crazy. Like, these pieces just click together. It's so nuts.
Yeah, like Project Paperclip. Yeah, that's the name of it. Project
Right?
Paperclip. Yeah, where they took all the Nazi scientists and they, what's his name?
Von Braun.
The
Von
head of NASA at the
Braun.
time was
Yeah.
Werner von Braun. Yeah.
But this starts to get into some crazy. I mean, like, you get into dude, in the whenever this picture's taken, late 1930s, early 1940s, and they're photoshopping back then.
And pretty good at that. Because I wouldn't have noticed
Very
it.
good.
I would need this to see that. If you would have shown me that, it would have taken me a while to be like, I don't know what I'm...
Yeah, that because you'd be like, is there a spirit there? Something's like floating there.
And it's so, yeah, and it's so funny because they had to line up the whole picture, which is something you don't have to do now.
What do you mean?
If you do Photoshop, you just literally go around it and like you got magic wand tool and
Yeah, it'll just automatically fill in.
way
the background.
easier. Like now you actually had to have talent to do that still.
Oh, you had to fill it in.
Yeah, now it's real easy. Me and John, like, you could do that and you can learn that in like a YouTube video in like 20 minutes.
Oh shit.
But now that back then, that's still wouldn't even know how to start, where to start. So
But this is how far down we are. That now they got these like Google phones where you can manipulate the picture in real time.
oh, there's this new commercial, the new Samsung or Galaxy, where I guess if you're like, let's say you're with your family and it's you and your wife, and you take a picture of you and your wife, well, you can go run in there and add yourself in there without it. It like puts you in there. I don't know, this new AI shit. I don't know. I don't have it, so I don't even know what I'm talking about. But I guess you crop yourself in there.
I appreciate you commenting on something you don't even know what you're talking about.
There's a commercial. Watch it. Type in
Courage.
Samsung.
Great courage.
And why vanilla sky? Why are they manipulating the skies, do you think?
So basically, what I was doing, I was just building up the low tier manipulation.
Okay.
In these photos,
All right,
right?
you take it away. I don't mean to rush it. This is
No, it's
great.
okay. So
You're crushing.
now I'm gonna bring up the actual like, holy shit, this is insane. So now I'm gonna bring up this New York City photo. In the Dropbox folder I sent you, you should see this photo of this building, this white building. It just takes up the whole photo. Yeah, I don't know if you could pull that up, but
Go down.
That's it.
Okay, go up.
That's all it's got.
Maybe it's the white building.
Yeah, it's like the white building. It looks like
Nope, that's not it.
Not that one. Yeah, that's the
Okay,
Australian
click that.
one.
Click that one. That
Starts
one.
with
There it is.
wait, no, go to the
Is
left.
that the white
Wait.
building? That's a white building.
Not yet. That one right there.
Okay.
Boom. All right, so that photo right there. This is a photo from the Library of Congress of New York City, right? When you look at it from a distance, the one thing you could tell off the bat is the bottom on the, the black on the bottom is messed up. But if you zoom in on that car right there in the middle of the street,
Yeah.
zoom in on that car.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
painted.
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
You're totally right. Look at that, dude. This is like
Yep.
what AI people are, but this is how the Camilla Harris, like white guys for Camilla looks like. Look at that. Holy shit, dude.
That's a painted car right there.
Wow.
There's people painted on the bottom right as well.
Yeah, the
Oh,
guy
these people
standing right
right
there.
That guy's supposed to be out.
Look at the light. Look at the street light.
They
That's
painted
a-
over the
Yep.
entire street. Look at the brushstrokes on the whole street.
Look
there.
at
You can-
that.
On the whole street. Now, also on the right side of that photo on the building, that entire right side is all painted in. You can tell.
Yeah.
Look at it. Keep going up. All of that is painted in.
Oh yeah.
Not even that convincingly.
So the question is,
What is that?
Why the fuck would they paint that?
Why?
You know what I
Why
mean?
would they paint that?
Now, here's the issue, right? The issue is this is presented as a glass plate negative, which means there's no manipulation. That's a glass plate negative means that it was taken as it is, and that's what the photo was supposed to be like.
What is this building, by the way? Do you know?
Actually, that building's I don't know exactly where it is, but that building is still standing.
And for everybody watching, not all the cars are painted. It's only the one of them because the other ones look pretty real, right? The other ones
Well,
are real.
go
Yeah,
to the
those are
left.
real
I think
those are real
another one
cars,
on the
yeah.
street might be. Go left. Can you zoom out again? And yeah, that one. That one looks
Yeah.
painted
That one's
too.
painted, yeah.
But not
Yeah,
all of
so
them. So why
everything-
that one?
So the picture is of a white corner building in New York City. These giant corner buildings, they take up the whole block, and then the street turns, and then there's like what looks like a canal. There's a 2-lane street in front of it. Then there's a canal, and basically, do you think the building's photo's real?
Yeah, the building photo is real. You can tell it is. That's a
I-
real
I
photo
wonder
of
if
that
they-
real building. That building still stands today.
I wonder if it was
that's
just a
real
filthy
building.
street or something that they wanted to paint over. So
Yeah, it's
curious.
actually called the Murray Hill Hotel on Park Avenue. on
Oh,
40th
it's a
Street
hotel.
and
See, maybe they
41st
want
Street.
people there. It probably is like this shitty in front of it. You know what I mean? And they want it to look like a bustling street.
So that's the argument too, that hey, maybe like the building, like in front of the building, just looked like shit, so they needed to like fuck with it to make it look nice. But this is where the second example of the photo that you clicked before this one, that one right there. This photo right here looks fine from a distance.
Yeah.
It looks real. It looks like it was taken from the
Perfect, yeah,
thing. But if you look up, go to the sky.
Go to the sky.
Just go to the sky. There's brush strokes right there.
Yeah.
Yep, like blobs.
Yep. Those are brush strokes right
God.
there. Yeah. So what's funny is that people claim that, and it's true. Back then these cameras had trouble capturing blue and red lights, but they fixed that issue already. What they will do is something called photo composite, where they'll take multiple photos of the sky and they'll be able to put them in the photo and look fine. But these things, they just cut out the sky completely. And that's where the name Vanilla Sky comes in from this theory, because the sky is just vanilla white. So that's where the whole name of the theory comes in. But if you zoom in on the right side, go to the bottom of the photo and go all the way to the right. Now you see that's painted right there. That license plate on that car is painted right there. If you zoom in a little bit more, right? Now go over to the right a little bit more. Boom, right there. Now if you keep going up,
go up.
You start to see the etching
they
line.
stitched it together, didn't they?
Right
there.
Yeah, they stitched it together. So you see the
Yeah.
etching line, and you keep going up.
Oh, it
You
goes
see the
right
whole
through
etching
it.
line. Yep. This building right here.
Whoa, it's
There's
perfect.
two explanations for what this is. You also see lines. You saw that looks like electrical lines that are coming out the building, and then that whole top is like fucking gone.
Dude, that just stops. The thing just stops.
It's funny because
So-
it does that in Photoshop too. Those things happen when you do that with like a magic wand tool, right, Johnny? Like it does like
I
a
don't know
little.
what you're saying.
Oh, well, it does like this little arch thingy where it follows the line where like it's following.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
it does the thing. It does
But
the same
this
thing
is
now.
like, what year is this?
I don't know what year this is, but it was still black and white photos.
It's still
so I
black,
don't
and the
know.
cars look like go all the way down. The cars look like they're from the
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at what?
1930s.
Yeah, something like that, maybe.
Yeah, something like
And like
that.
go
yeah.
back, go back, go back, go back, go back. That guy behind the car painted. Look at that
Yeah.
guy. Look at that dude. What's that man in
Is it?
black?
Could zoom in
What was the point of that? You know what I mean? Like, there's just no point of doing that when there's other people in the
maybe.
photos. You know what I mean?
It's
Like,
just
there's
It's almost
no
like
point
he
in
was there
that.
and they painted over him or something. Because like, look where his eyes are.
Then
Yeah.
look at the tree, dude. Look at the,
the tree's
tree.
painted too. That's right, Sam. Yeah, that
Look
looks
at
like a
that
brush stroke.
tree, bro. Wow.
Well, that,
So-
yeah, I wonder if that helps it show up a little bit, like that darkness there, because like I
Maybe.
said, the exposure.
Interesting. Were they like just putting filters on these things to make them pop? Were they Instagram
could be.
thoughts?
Maybe add some contrast. Yeah,
It's called a filter, guys. It's called a filter. We put a filter on it.
Women do it on their butts. Why can't they do it with historically accurate video photos?
You gotta, yeah, I would love to, because really with all these, you gotta think about what the motivation was.
Mm-hmm.
Again, like he said, why? And like this, I wonder, like, is this an advertisement for whoever owns that building, and they don't want their competitor in, so he's like, hey, bring in this other building to block out the
Interesting.
guy next door.
It could be like that. So there's two explanations for it. Either that building right there is being replaced by another building, because at the top of the photo, you can
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
see the top of the other building kind of looks weird. You see that little line at
Totally.
the top? Yeah,
It's
it just looks
so
like it looks like
weird,
a whole
man.
building was. It looks like a whole different building was there.
And go to the white building. Look at that little look at that side. Go over to this other side. Look at that right there. That's weird
What does that
too.
say? What does that say up there? Wake County. Oh, this is North Carolina. Wake County.
Oh shit, Johnny.
And
Wake
home
County.
saving banks.
Your
Same in
whole
home
childhood is a lie.
No, I'm not from Wake County, but it is in North Carolina. If that is Wake County, I think it says that.
That looks weird too. That looks really weird.
Yeah, so you can kind of see it looks like electrical lines are
And
coming
look at
out
that.
of
Look
those
at
buildings.
that. Yeah, look at that stuff right there. What is
Yeah, it's
that?
like some kind of putty or something that's like.
Oh, it just looks like a ripple
blob.
in the photo.
Like a smear. There's this like tools that you use now that they probably were using
It looks
here.
like
you
a
smear.
repaired image almost.
Yeah.
Like it was torn, like or broken, and they had to paste it back together.
Yeah, that could be an explanation too.
Okay.
That they had.
Floors are those? Look at the look at how the windows are present. Like
in the middle. You see that?
That is weird.
It's
Oh
so
yeah,
weird.
that's right. What the hell? I didn't even notice that.
And then the one next to it's like a little bit on. Like, where are these things? Dude, super weird, bro. That makes me think everywhere after those two windows is just BS.
Oh, like right where,
Like
right
we're
where the
looking at a
bank.
Hollywood set almost.
Yeah.
I got you. Yeah,
Like right where the bank
Universal
is?
Studios tour.
Yeah. Like if you go those first two
Universal
videos,
Studios
the first two windows,
no,
no,
it's-
over
it's
there, over,
Wayne
over,
County.
over,
Wayne
over,
County.
right there. You go those first two windows. After that, that's when it starts to get weird.
All after that? Yeah, it does.
So that must be Ohio, Wayne County.
Like, because even if you go all the way up, look at those first two have windows. Nothing has windows after that.
Yeah, right there.
Strange.
Why are they doing that? But dude, this scares you because everything is a manipulation.
Yeah, because these are real people. That's what I'm saying. I
Yeah,
thought
those are
at
real
one point,
people,
I
yeah.
at one point thought they're adding people to make it seem like the city's populated,
more busy?
But there's people there. They only added 1, 2 people.
So crazy, dude.
Yeah. So this is just another photo city example. So and there's another one that you pulled up. It was like before that. It was like the sky was completely wiped out. Not that one.
Not this one. Yeah, I know what
go
you're
back.
talking about. This
Scroll
one right
down.
there.
That one right there. This one is
What
like clearly
is
blatantly,
this?
you know, like this is blatantly like, all right, come on.
Yeah, dude's not even trying.
Yeah, dude, it must have been his last day.
Oh, you can see where the plate cracked in
This
the
is
top
last
left.
day.
Too.
He was
He's
clocking
like,
out.
dude, I don't care. I'm leaving, dude. I
see
think
that?
I'm going to work on it.
Where the plate cracked
So-
on the top left.
If you zoom in on the right side where those men are standing, that's where the real sky was at.
Yeah, right
You
there,
can
you can
see
see
like
it.
it's a mask. It's gone. Like, you know, the remnants of the mask are still there. Now, if you zoom in on the middle of the photo where all that hay is at, if you start to notice there's legs at the top of those haystacks.
No way. Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Look, that's a leg.
Whoa.
Yeah, and that guy's
there's
got
a
his
guy.
All those are legs. 1,
Whoa.
2. That head, half his head is chopped off.
Yeah, dude,
Yep.
that is so creepy.
Look at that guy's. Is that his foot or a shoe?
Yeah, it's his feet. Those are different feet of
Dirty
different
ass
people
feet,
sitting on
though.
top.
Look how dirty those feet are. It's a white man with black feet. I've never seen a white man with black feet. before.
Dude, they definitely didn't have labor laws back then. Look at that.
So this
Bare
right here
hand.
is just blatant. And what's crazy is that this photo was also presented as a glass plate negative. So that's my problem. And that's where my whole thinking came in. And I was like, wait, why is this presented as an original
that,
photo when it's
dude.
clearly cutting out the sky? Like the whole sky is cut out. What was the point of that?
It's a lot of
You know
cotton.
what I mean? So my theory is that maybe there was something in the sky that they didn't want in there. Or maybe they were carrying something on the top of that thing and they didn't want that in there. Because the entire sky is completely cut out. And that's where the vanilla sky theory got coined in.
You're talking like UFOs?
Another
Maybe.
sun, maybe?
Or the Zeppelin ships that people keep saying. the
So
air
that
ships.
is super interesting.
The argument that this is aesthetics just fails because of an image like this, where it clearly, whatever was there can't be worse than this whiteout job that this guy did. You know what I mean? Because so you can't say, I've seen it, I just looking on the internet in the time that we had to research this, I've seen people say like, well, it's for aesthetics. You know, people want to see like a cloudless sky. They know that's the idea. But this looks terrible.
So you're just
is
chopping
awful.
people's bodies off? It's like,
Yeah.
I want to see a nice sky and a massacre.
You know what this is? This is somebody in a hurry who got told to do a job. Hey, we need all these images with whatever in them taken and whited. Like they need to be gone.
You know
and
what
this
this
guy's
reminds
just
me
blowing
of?
through them really fast.
When you say that, reminds me of when like all the Joe Biden votes came in Michigan, and the only thing signed on there, the only vote was for Joe Biden. Joe Biden. Dude, we just gotta get these done. I'll worry about. I just gotta get these things done right now. Just get it going.
Couldn't
right?
even throw one Trump in there.
Yeah, no. They're just like can't vote for
Governor,
Kamala
yeah.
Harris.
Forget
We're
about
just Biden get done. Yeah, it's totally a manipulation of it. And you go, well, why would they be so sloppy? But
It's a rush job.
does the guy doing this have any vision of the internet? Does the guy have any vision of like encyclopedias getting to where they were going to be? And this photo being so important that in 2024, a podcast called Tinfoilhat is talking about it.
And what's worse
Definitely
is
not.
this guy got paid top money for this probably with this shitty job.
Or he got paid zero money.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck you.
Yeah.
You want better? You want people's heads still on here?
I would love to know though, because to me it seems like, or I feel just instinctually that this was taken, and then sometime later, much later, possibly this was done. You know, decades.
So something
possibly.
you think?
Of
so,
Yes.
course, Johnny. Of
No,
course.
but what I'm saying, like the technology and everything is probably much different and moved on. I would just love to know how much later it was. You know what I mean? How much? I don't know, because they're
Yeah,
still
so
using
we
primitive
don't-
techniques, right?
Yeah, so we don't really know how much later it was cut out, but it's been cut out. And my guess, based on everything that has been laid out, is that I think when Rockefeller took over the education system, that's when he started going in and started changing like old, stuff about history.
Oh, wow.
Maybe they didn't want us to know certain things. Maybe they didn't want us to know that maybe back then, not too long ago, we were a little bit more advanced than we were led to believe. Who knows? So it's been long enough now where like all the generations from those photos are like about to be gone, actually. So you can't really recall that much of what was really happening at that time unless you lived in it. So yeah, we don't know when it was manipulated, but these photos are being manipulated. I guess they wanted it to slide under the radar because this wasn't really talked about. Like I found like an underground video about some guy talking about it, and I was like, holy shit, I gotta like look into this. And then that's where all these photos, and that's when I started learning about how they would like etch photos and what they would do. It's a whole process. People had jobs to do this, like people were getting paid top dollar to make photos, like they change around photos and things like that. And then that's when they started using it for propaganda as well. It's not even just photos of cities. They were using it to get people to go to war during that time, to get people to go start fighting for this country or whatever they were fighting at the time. So that's how
a great example of that is the lead up to the invasion of Iraq. The government took a wedding video, and it was a wedding video in which the people were celebrating someone in their family getting married, and they took the video and said this was them celebrating 9/11. And people just bought into that hook, line, and sinker. It's like absolutely crazy to me. It's
so
absolutely
much easier now. I mean, that was such an early form of what we have now on Twitter, where videos are just getting the labels are changed. You'll see the same video 3 different times with 3 different labels of what bombing it is. You know what I mean?
And now, just think about this: if they incentivize you getting clicks, and they don't care if you're telling the truth
Chaos.
anymore, chaos. That's why you got to find like 5 people that you trust, that like they're going to do their best to get it right. And that's where you get your news from.
Matt Taibbi,
Whitney Webb, Jimmy Dore. He seems to be fully there. A couple other people, the last American Vagabond,
Oh, by the way, I have a photo right here of a negative that's fully intact, like how a negative should be. Like, actually, Sean, if you could probably focus this on here for a second so they could see it better.
if you just want to send it over.
If you want to send it to
email
us,
it
we
to
could do it.
Oh, yeah, I could do that too. I'll send it to the email so you guys can
The one
see
you
it.
got the invite from, and I'll put it up.
Great. Hold on.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely incredible. It's absolutely incredible.
Have you seen in your exploration of this history, have you seen any hints at what might be under the matting?
Yeah, so there's
obscuring?
like there's different theories of what people think they did this for. People, the people who just like disregard everything, say it's all for aesthetics, like you've said before. Like, oh, like it was destroyed, they had to fix it. But if they had to fix it, they should have at least put in the description, this is what we did to restore the photo.
Yeah.
They just put it out as like, hey, this is a historical regular photo of a glass plate negative. So now people are thinking these are original photos when obviously they're not. So another theory is that they're hiding, and this gets into like a whole different thing, but people are saying they're hiding the city, an old civilization known as Tartaria, where not too long ago, where we were a lot more advanced and they like to let on a lot of inventions and people were coming out during that time, electricity and things of that nature. And the other theory is that they're just trying to wash away history and so that we are disconnected from our past, so we don't really know how to move forward, and we're just like basically going with the flow. So that's kind of connects to my Mandela effect theory, that I think they're just, you know, manipulating stuff in real time to the point where we don't even know what history is anymore.
We don't
And we're
even
just
know
being-
what history is anymore. And we can't know what history is anymore. Because if you know your history, you could teach knowledge to the next generation. If the next generation gets no knowledge, they start from zero. While the elites, their kids get all the knowledge. And it's just like, you know, this notion of cavemen and all this shit. Oh, we came from cavemen, which fits into all of this, like Darwinism. We're monkeys. We're on a rock hurling through space. All that is to disconnect you from there's a God and this place is special. And obviously, something happened in this war of God versus fallen angels. And they hit the reset button and it didn't come back the same. And they're doing it again. I mean, they're manipulating our genes again. And these idiots are just like, dude, oh my God, you anti-vaxxers need to be round up. They like have no clue what they're saying.
Well, you need to be like fully vaxxed up to work for Kamala.
Yeah, it's like so insane. It's so insane. Like every part of her thing is like, we don't need walls while she puts up walls around her fucking. Like, unbelievable, dude. It's just a giant gaslighting going on and timelines. It's crazy. So what's your thoughts on Tartaria?
Oh, I mean, I think I've only briefly researched it, and I've noticed that they had buildings that had all the same architecture. It made it look like it was a single architect who constructed all those buildings because they're across the world. And that is interesting because in order for, like, you know, artists to have, or at least, you know, artists to have like a single line of things across like the world, they kind of have to be connected. So if you have a building that looks very similar or almost exactly like a building here in New York City, and then there's another one in India that looks exactly the same, it makes you really think either that person was inspired by it, or we're more connected than we were before. Maybe the world was a little bit more connected before, and, you know, we worked together and stuff of like that nature. So I think Tartaria might have been true. I don't know if it's completely true because the timeline, and I still find it a little bit hard to believe that not like only like 200 years ago we were like this super advanced to the point where we had like free energy out of these buildings. You know, people go into this stuff, and there's a whole book on it too, like the One World Tartarians by, I forgot his name, but it's a book you could buy on Amazon for like $20 right now, and they talk about how like 200 years ago we had like laser weapons and shit. I don't know, like that's it's stuff like it gets crazy in there. It's by James W. Lee, actually.
Kind of crazy to me. Any other pictures you got that are crazy?
In the Dropbox folder.
Oh yeah, look at this one with the guy. Look at that. He's got a wandering eye, and then it's like, look at it.
They fixed it.
I'm actually good looking.
Who is he though?
Yeah.
Oh, he must have been trying to
on
get
the
him a girl,
left-hand
right?
side is the original photo.
Yeah.
And this is an example of using etching to, you know, manipulate a photo.
And you know,
They were able
dude, on Twitter they would go right, and then he'd show up, and he'd be like, "Are you seeing other people?" Well, it's kind of my condition.
So this guy, he went in there, and this is like shown in a book that explains how to, like, you know, retouch photos. So on the right hand side is the final product. You can't even tell it was changed. If I showed you that picture on the right hand side, you would think that's the original.
Yeah.
It's crazy,
insane?
dude.
Yeah.
What else do we got here?
His mama must have been trying to get him a girl.
Is this guy famous or anything, or just
Yeah, but back then they would just
an example of what they could do.
okay?
they would just marry him off. What are these passages you have there? Oh yeah,
Yeah, right
Stalin
there,
did
Joseph
that.
That's a
Stalin.
famous one, yeah.
That
Yeah,
poor
when
guy.
he cut that guy out.
No,
You
he's
know-
definitely fucked whoever that
Yeah,
is.
that guy. Whoever got cut out there for sure.
What do you think he did
probably,
right
like,
before that?
executed him or
And look
something.
at the filters that they used too. They lightened up the filters. They cleaned up
They
his
imported
face.
the water.
Yeah, they cleaned the water up. So
Like, that's
cra- So nuts, dude.
That's crazy stuff, man. This is all during a time where war was going on, and they were using these photos to get people to go to war.
Yeah, click on that.
Like,
What is that?
shit was crazy.
Stalin used
yeah.
a large group of photo retouchers. Oof. Man, you want pressure, dude? Have to retouch up Stalin's pictures?
This guy must have been Nikola Yezhkov, a secret police official who oversaw Stalin's purges. So he's a piece of shit, too. For a while, Yezhkov worked at Stalin's right hand, interrogating, falsely accusing, and ordering the execution of thousands of Communist Party officials. But in 1938, Yezhkov fell from Stalin's favor after being usurped by one of his own deputies. He was denounced, secretly arrested, tried in a secret court, and executed.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Dude. Johnny, see, it was shit.
Yeah, this is the better time you're talking about.
Go
right
down.
now.
What else? Click that. What's that?
It's just an example of how they would like do the retouching. This is a history of etching, I guess, that I added in there. I forgot I even added that in there. That's from a book that they taught you how to retouch photos, basically.
I mean, dude, it's like, and now you just see like the complete and utter manipulation of all like, it's so funny because all we have to do, guys, is get off the internet and everything chills. But we're addicted to it. It's just this desire to constantly get data. Like, we're addicted to data. We need information. Like, you're like, how many times you just been bored? You just put down your phone and then it just keeps calling you.
That second,
to
the same
scroll. New information. Crazy. But this episode is great. Dude, it is. How long have they been manipulating us? That's the question.
Dude, I can't get over that car. You would have never seen it if it wasn't for that zoom
No,
in
that's
act.
crazy.
It looks.
And then you got the little Bic guy down there. Go down. Does that guy look like the guy from the Bic pens right there, just hanging out? Just so weird. So weird, man. Go on.
Sorry, have you guys heard of the morphic resonance field?
The morphic. Go on.
So the morphic resonance field is like it's like a theory or that we're all connected consciously. And this is just to answer the question if anyone's wondering why they will go to such lengths to manipulate and do things like this. There's a study of these monkeys that they taught this group of monkeys on an island how to clean their fruits to eat. And other monkeys weren't doing that, but after they taught those monkeys how to do it, other monkeys, for some reason, started cleaning their fruits to eat it. So the theory came out is that we're all collected consciously. We're all connected. So if you were to manipulate the masses all the time, the people who are stuck being manipulated influence the other people as well. So you actually finding out information like this and changing the way you think actually, by theory, actually sends ripples through the entire morphic resonance field, and it literally changes how people think. So actually now there's a lot of people who are quote unquote waking up to a lot of this stuff, but there's also a lot of people who are quote unquote asleep. So when you start, teaching people about these things and opening their eyes to it, it actually sends like a wave of like information being sent to everyone. And then people start to pick up on it more, which is why they up the manipulation, because they're trying to combat that. They don't want a lot of people waking up. Yeah. So that's what's going on right now. And, here in New York City, they say it's the center of the matrix. I mean, you go outside, there's a lot of people walking by who know stuff and people who don't. And, I see it every single day. So it's interesting to see how, at random bars I go to, people will be like, hey, this is some crazy shit I heard about. And I'd be like, damn, that's crazy. That didn't happen a few years ago. So something is changing, whether it's positive or negative, I can't say for sure, but something is changing. I think
it's positive. I think people are waking up, even if we have to go through complete shit or the illusion of shit. Everybody's talking. We didn't come to them. We've always been doing this. And this is what you're talking about. This is the ripple effect.
The ripple effect. Yeah, literally sends shockwaves through the fucking space-time continuum, you could say, right? There's another quote by Sun Tzu, move your enemy, don't be moved by him. So that's kind of feel like what I'm doing as well. Like I'm moving things and I'm not allowing myself to be moved by the outside influence,
It's so I saw the best quote ever. It was the best quote ever. And it was like, truth is like a lion. All you do is have to let it free, and it will defend itself. And like, it's the truth, man. The bodies will come floating by. They will eventually be caught in their bullshit. You just have to release the truth. Release it. And it's out there. And eventually it starts to get, and like people realize it's the Russian collusion, COVID. I'm sorry, I'm battling everybody. The two things I get in the biggest fights on Twitter is HIV not being real, and Hitler is a fucking bitch. Okay? Hitler was a fucking sugar baby for all these fucking CEOs of these major corporations and banks.
Those are two tough ones. Very different ones.
Not tough for me,
There's a
dude.
book you could buy on Amazon called "I Paid Hitler." Like that's you could buy that book on Amazon.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if
it's a
still
book
there.
called I Paid Hitler?
Yeah, there's a book called "I Paid Hitler." Yeah, there's a documentary called "Everything's a Rich Man's Trick."
Yeah.
It's on YouTube. You should
don't have to
watch
tell
it.
Sam
The
twice.
people say
Wait,
World War
what?
II
Whoa.
technically started here in New York City.
It
So-
might be out of your price range, Sam.
Oh shit! You gotta buy it for $4,620.
Oh shit! I didn't know it was that.
I paid Hitler, you pay me, bitch.
Yeah. Holy
I'm
shit!
about to say a little out of your price range. Usually you buy books on site. I don't know if you're gonna be able to buy this one.
Holy fuck, I
$4,600.
didn't even know it was that expensive.
Whoa,
And it's
bro!
Friedrich Thyssen was a leading German industrialist. In 1923, General Ludendorff advised Thyssen to attend a speech given by Hitler, and he was very impressed, and primarily due to his strident opposition to the Treaty of Versailles, he began to make large donations to the party. His principal motive appears to have been a fear of communism, but he was not initially politically aligned to the Nazis and remained a member of the German National People's Party until 32. So I guess it's about one of the big backers of National Socialism. Thyssen or Tyson.
So fucking.
You think there's something juicy in there where it's 4,600 and
Yeah,
something
it's
bucks?
basically like the bankers paid for
probably.
everything.
It's like that Wu-Tang album, It's only one copy of it. And
Sam, would you
nobody's
buy
allowed
this and release it to the masses?
Oh, I mean, I would love to do it. Dana would murk me right
that
now.
PDF.
I just paid money for a Godzilla tattoo. She's not too happy with me.